this famous phone case brand has a bad product page. So by the end of this video, you're gonna see me doing a live walkthrough of their product page and seeing exactly what they are doing wrong and how can they optimize their product page to make a lot more money. If you don't know who I am, my name is Andre and I work with a couple large brands that you already might have heard about, and I help them to increase their conversion rate and make a lot more money from the same traffic that is being sent to the website. So let's get into the audit. A product page has only one specific goal: to persuade you to buy and to give you clarity on why you are the right brand for them, why this is the right product, and to give them a certain incentive for you to actually move on to the next step, which is the cart. So this area that you see right here, it's called the above the fold. The above the fold is the most important part of your website, especially on the product page, because 100% of the traffic sees this area. Everything that is happening below, it's called the below the fold. So until this area, until the add to cart, this area, it's called the buy box. Well, everything has to happen in this area. Most of the optimization and most of the information has to be introduced in this area. Now, you have 3 seconds to tell your customer all of the essential information for them to make a decision. So because you have such little time, you need to make the most out of this area. Now, most brands do a very poor job when it comes to their product photos, but this is by far the most important part. So the first product photo here should highlight the product itself, but also what makes it unique or special. And in this case, they are selling phone cases made out of real wood, and they are made in Indiana in USA. It's like a very specific thing, and most of their audience is USA based. This sparks pride, this creates a lot of trust, and all of this information that I just mentioned, they should be just highlighted in the first photo. The second one should also talk about benefits or why they are better, or just to give them the story behind the brand so that customers can connect with them on an emotional level. So then this just doesn't become just another product that you attach and you put it to your phone and it looks cool, but it also means something way more. And this is where storytelling and copywriting comes into play. Right now, here I would also add, on the third photo, I would add lifestyle, like just the product being in use. I would actually use that photo instead. I think this is really good, and maybe just like a man or a woman just using their phone. Another thing that I would add here is just a video on how you're making this, just show like what is happening in the factory, things like that. Just because this is a USA based brand and it sparks that pride, customers would connect so much more on a much deeper level when I would actually see who's making this, what is the actual process, why is this so unique, and everything that I just talked about is just mentioned somewhere super low in the fold, and very few customers manage to get here. So after studying thousands of heat maps on so many websites, I can tell you that whatever is below here, more than 50% of the traffic overall in the website is not going to see this. So everything that you would see here is almost not important. So this is why you have to make the most out of the above the fold area. Okay, here instead of these bullet points, I would just make thumbnails. So now people can see different photo and like different styles of photos, and they would just be able to like jump from photo to photo. Next, I really like that it's made to order. I think this is really good, and this is such a unique selling point. Just mention it here, it's made to order. Why? Because this is made out of real wood. It's made in Indiana in our factory, and we have a history of more than 100 years or more than 50 years, because they actually do have a history in the wood industry. Okay, now usually ships within 1 to 2 days. Instead of 1 to 2 days, I would actually want to say ships to Texas, and it actually pulls the location of the customer, the IP. It can go city specific and state specific, and it can say instead of 1 to 2 days, I would actually mention the exact date. In this case, I would just say ships to, I don't know, Arizona to until 13 March. This would create instant trust. The customer like, okay, I'm actually gonna get it in 13, perfect. You know, this also helps when you're buying this for someone else, not just for yourself. Next, when I move in here, and I have this big ass drop down, there are so many phone models that they have. So what I would do here, I would just have a button that brings a slider, and I would just put them to, do you have an iPhone? Do you have a Samsung? Do you have Xiaomi? Whatever the model you have. And I would just put them to select it, and then it would show the product in basic inside of that phone and show like a real life representation. How would it actually look with that specific model, and it's a much more visual and overall a better user experience. What I would do, I would also remove these crumbs. I would just hide them. It's an easy one. It just saves some real estate, and it just doesn't crowd this area. Okay, next I would just save some real estate. I would also play around with pricing a lot. What do I mean by this? I would give them an offer such as like a 50% off, or instead of just doing that, I would just give them an incentive. Because in the era that we live in, customers these days are way more skeptical, they have a lot more options, and you just need to have a stronger offer. overall. So what would I do in this case in order to make, instead of just having like the flat price of $64, I would actually give them something that essentially costs this business almost nothing to fulfill. It doesn't cost them maybe like less than $1, or it's even something digital, and I'll just give them as a gift. And this can be used maybe in certain times of the year. Instead of just, as I said, like a 50% off, I would just give them a gift. In this case, I'm seeing that they have a matching bracelet, and this is cut directly from the camera opening of this specific case, and this is amazing. This can be such an easy gift that costs them less than $1, and this would basically increase the perceived value, and you would apply the reciprocity effect when it comes to this buying this product. Because if you just give them something for free, just like you would go to a restaurant, to give you an example, if at the end the waiter just comes and gives you something sweet or something to drink, like a complimentary gift, you would just feel compelled later before leaving to leave them some tips, right? It's exactly the same psychology here. If they want to give you something for free, you would just be compelled to actually finish the purchase, because you're getting not just the case itself, but you're getting also something extra. And this is such a strong motivator that a lot of D2C brands are actually doing to differentiate themselves, and it just works, right? Next, we have the X button. This just takes me back to the collection page. I actually don't want to see that right here, because people usually know how to go back to the collection page. I would just want as fewer distraction elements on the PDP, okay? Next, the add-ons. This is super important. Just fucking make them visual. And in here, like wrist strap, actually have to press to actually see how, like, what is that actually is, the power bundle, just the name, and I don't know what it actually comes with. So just by having the add-ons just bigger and visual is automatically gonna help customers perceive the information faster, and if they perceive the information faster, then they will just have less questions, less maybe frustrations, because now they have to click on every single element right here just to understand, and then click back so they can minimize. It just creates so much mess. So you would just want to remove all of this stuff here and just make it visual. This is gonna automatically increase your conversion by doing essentially nothing. Okay, now I really love the fact that they have interest-free installments with ShopPay. This is really good. And when we get to this area, this is the area where we want to tackle objections, as many as we can. And I like the fact they have shipping returns, videos, and product details. Now, when it comes to videos, these kind of things, especially the ones that are the most important one and the most relevant one, I would just take one and put it as a third or fourth place so that I can let customers easily watch that and get educated on how does the product actually looks like. On top of that, if I would want to further down and optimize this and tackle all of their questions, doubts, fears that they have in their subconscious mind, I would do research, I would do surveys, customer interviews. This is what we actually do for bigger brands, and that helps them make fuck ton more money. We understand the pain points and the questions that customers have before they purchase and after they purchase. We ask them specific questions that give us insights, and then we use that information to optimize this. So in this case, I would add certain questions that the customers have that we see repeatedly happening over and over and over again. And I'll just add it in here as a framed as a question. And then once I click on that, just like it's happening here, I would just have a persuasive small text that just responds to that, and it's just gonna sell them. Now, what else do you see here? These are really good, unique selling propositions that are visual. It's so easy to understand them, like that this is just highly protective, like a phone case. And I'll just take all of these because these are really good. And I'll just highlight them either in the main photo grid or under, or even right below the price, one below each other. This is gonna make such a big difference when it comes to, you know, having, let's say you have 1 million traffic and this brand has a lot of traffic. Imagine once you change something and you put something on a website and suddenly 500,000 per month more people see that information that they didn't knew before because it was somewhere hidden on the lower part of the site. Now automatically in their mind the product becomes way more valuable because they're like, oh my god, like they actually understand why this is different, because this is unique and handmade masterpiece. This is not just a random, you know, something made in China and bought in bulk and just sold with your logo on top of it. You know what I mean? Also, this is really fucking cool. The fact that they include a MagSafe compatible, this is really powerful, and it's like made out of wood. This is another strong point that I couldn't see in the above the fold area. Okay. Also, they have how it's made. If you would just have this whole section, just put it inside of the photo in like 4 steps, this would instantly create a lot more credibility, and it would increase the perceived value, because now customers, they just really understand like, hey, we are making this. Once you order, it's unique. Every single piece of wood is different, and we have artists that are working on this. They are real people. It's not something, again, made and bought in bulk, just like any other regular brand. We are different. We are made in USA. And if you just show those things, you automatically differentiate yourself from the market. No one can actually compete with you, and you will just end up making a fuck ton more money. Now, somewhere under the description, you will be able to find a 45-page document that is going to help you further down the line optimize your conversion even more on different stages of your funnel. So feel free to check it out. It's really powerful. It has like 45 pages written by myself. I hope that this video was valuable. So comment down below at least one insight that you got from this video. Also subscribe to this channel because I'm going to post a lot more videos like this, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.